And so if we are going to tap the energy known as miracles, my friends, we are the ones who are going to create our own miracles. You can't ask God. He's always there. He's provided everything, the settings by which we can tap miracle energy. We haven't called upon it. It reminds me of the story about this poor man with 49 children praying to God every day. God, can't you give me one lottery? I mean, I wouldn't be taking anything away from anybody. Someone's got to win it. Why not me? And he prays year in and year out religiously. And then the time came where he had to go upstairs and face his maker. And he comes to God and says, God, where were you when I needed you? All these years. Couldn't you have afforded one miracle of a lottery in my direction? To which God answered him, my friend, did you buy a lottery? Miracles are there. The problem is we have not learned how to dial God. Today we have that information. When we light the candle, we have the proper numbers, letters, as you must have when you want to dial your friend. You just can't use any numbers. You can't use any letters. Each and every single person has his own telephone, and that telephone has its own number. So too do all these varied packets of energy. To reach these numbers, these telephones, these packets of energy, we have to dial. Today we have that system on how to dial. Today we have the system by buying the lottery, if you may. None of us, from here on in, will ever be able to say, God, how do you permit this? And our answer tonight is God never permitted it. It was our lack of communication. Everything that can enhance our lifestyle has already been revealed. There are almost no secrets left. Then one might ask, well, why do we see all of these miracles happen each and every single day? And the answer is, we must achieve a consciousness. And more importantly, the consciousness that is required is the consciousness that we can achieve miracles in our lives. But how many of us will walk out of here and say, too good to be true? And that's probably the worst enemy that we have in Kabbalah. People would rather remain in their chaos and misery than succumb to some influence that we can create our own miracles. It's not as easy as it might present itself. Unfortunately, we become skeptics and say, it couldn't happen. But for those of us who will have the guts to change and say, if this is going to enhance my life, I'm going to try it. 50 years ago, when there was talk of landing someone on the moon, what do you think the individual who thought that we can place someone on the moon, what do you think people thought? He was crazy. Anything that's new and revolutionary will always be damned. Well, I'm saying from now on in, what Kabbalah has to offer us is we're no longer afraid to discuss it. We're going to take full advantage. We're going to try and raise our consciousness. And that is one prerequisite that we must fulfill: sensitivity. No matter how we treated our members of the family, no matter how we treat our neighbors, our friends, our acquaintance, or even those that we don't know, we must begin to change the nature of ourselves. When we begin to change the nature, then we have achieved miracle consciousness.